Hello and welcome back to GFiT 2020. My name is Namita and I will be your host for this session, and I'm very excited to be alongside you on this journey of sharing knowledge and adding more to it. No doubt, this pandemic has changed the lives of millions, but it has also provided us with the chance to get involved with our internet connected devices. So, good ones also grabbed this opportunity by introducing GFIT 2020, a 5 days virtual IT event through which one can learn, grow, and enhance their knowledge by networking with each other through this platform. Anjan Prasad, founder and CEO at Novaru World, has spent more than a decade in digital marketing and communications and has helped various renowned brands such as Google, Motorola, Dabur, Sony, Tommy Hilfiger, and a few more. Mr. Anjan is going to share his perspective on the importance of niche marketing for small online stores. I'm sure by now you know that you can enter your questions in the chat window throughout the session, and we will answer those after the session ends. So, without further ado, let's hand over to Mr. Anjan Prasad.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Namita, for the introduction. I'm humbled and honored for the session you guys have invited me. What I'm gonna do today is let me share my screen. 1 second. All right. Namita, is my screen visible or? Am I audible to you guys? Namita, can you hear me? All right. Cool. All right. So, quite interesting topic. Why niche marketing is important for small online stores. Fortunately, happen to work with big ones as well as the smaller startups as well, based out of India and US, launching few product and service based companies where I was fortunate enough to see closely the dynamics of a startup and how a business wants to grow and what are the challenges they face. And since I have been in this marketing and precisely digital marketing for a long time, I was able to correlate and find out some interesting observations. I would keep this more of a short presentation from my side, and I would love to interact more with the people on the call so that I can answer more questions. I can get more into interaction mode. So I will jump into the topic straight. Uh, all right. So I'm trying to touch upon the what is niche marketing and why it is important for small online stores, and how one should do niche marketing. Or I don't think we will be able to touch upon that as well in today's session. But our session is more inclined towards why niche marketing is important for small online stores in today's time, and what's happening with these online stores and why they are failing or why few of them are succeeding, and how niche marketing is helping them in scaling up the business. So uh, when I say niche marketing, I think it's pretty much more of a lean marketing where you are kind of using the budgets more efficiently. You are trying to spend your resources wisely, and you're trying to get more out of it. um, you are trying to understand where the demand is, and you are trying to capture. So let me start with what's niche marketing. Um so when we talk about niche marketing, it's the first thing is it always starts with finding your niche. Now your niche could be at a product level, and your niche could be at the offering level. So you may want to narrow it down to a particular specialized product or service which you want to offer, and hence you are kind of trying to cater to a specific audience. And the second is, um, you are trying to also look at the other part of it. So one, at your own business, what you can do is focus on more of a one product or a one service, and that's the kind of a niche you try to find out in your business. You may have three or four things to offer, but you start with one, so that you can establish your a differentiation, you can establish your identity in that offering, and it becomes much easier to add on the other parts of your offerings next to it. And the second part of finding your niche is what kind of an audience and what kind of geography, what kind of demography you are trying to look at, and that's the niche I'm referring to. It's very important that in a small business environment, it's very important to narrow it down to the audience to whom you are planning to target, to whom you are trying to touch upon, and do the business and do your communication and advertising work. Because of the limited budget, you can't reach out to almost everyone, and hence it becomes pretty much important to do the niche, finding the niche. And the second point, of course, it's more of a, what's niche marketing? If I say in a line, niche marketing is mostly uh, trying, it trying to cater to a specific set of audience with a specialized kind of a product or a service which you may have, and then establishing your brand and your name in that category, and then get a market acceptance that people are buying product or service from you. It's much easier to do that compared to you kind of go around and start capturing the demand which is there for your product and service. You start running AdWords and contextual ads, and you henceforth keep on chasing the customer. It's more of spray and pray thing which was happening earlier, where you try to expose to the audience which you think may buy things from me. But at the end of the day, uh, the more focused you are, the more scaled down approach you have in the marketing activities for small businesses, it works really well for them. So the second part is, of course, finding out who's the specific audience or the niche I'm trying to target to, what's the subset of the larger audience I'm trying to target to, even if I have more to target to, right? It saves you money. Specialization, I'm talking more and more because I have seen a lot of businesses, service based or a product based. They were capable of 10 services, or they were capable of different products, but they started with one category of that product, and slowly they kept on adding it, and it's, I think, really it's working really well for a lot of brands which I closely work with. And niche marketing helps you to establish a good amount of differentiation. You are able to increase your visibility in a very niche product or a service among a close niche audience set, which is not possible if you go all your budget out and start targeting the possible set of audience. Now, where there are already bigger players in the market with heavy advertising money, where your voice is not heard. And that's kind of a concept in advertising. We call it as a decibel effect, right? So if everyone is having a higher decibel effect in the market because of the kind of money they have, they may be at a, let's say, 100 decibel. And based on small online businesses which are also trying to capture audiences from these market leaders, their decibel is could be 30 or 40. They are not heard in the entire noise, and whatever money they're deploying usually gets wasted. And therefore it makes a lot of sense to use that decibel and focus in only one category, where you are able to increase your visibility, you are able to create a differentiation, and And most of the time people think that niche marketing is more of a scale down approach where I may not be able to uh, expand or get large market share. Actually, it's not that correct. Niche marketing helps you to start at a smaller scale, but of course, if you are able to serve a particular kind of an audience, a specific audience in one geography, it becomes much easier for you to replicate that model in multiple geographies because you have established your connection with that kind of a mindset. You understand that kind of an audience. You have a very strong feedback mechanism. You are able to talk to your customers when you are dealing in one specific category. So you are able to give a exclusive experience. You are thinking around for one product or a one service rather than five service. You are able to talk to more people. You are able to get more feedback, more insights. You are able to establish more close connect with the first few buyers of your offerings, which are going to do the word of mouth for you, who are going to spread the good words about you. And in the niche marketing, then of course the quality of your offering goes high because you are starting at the scale down approach, and then you get a market acceptance. When I say market acceptance, I mean people actually started buying your product and you are getting repeat business, which means that okay, the fitment of my offering is there in the market, and hence it becomes a bottom up approach where you are kind of starting at a low scale and then creating a good impression in a particular product or service, and then slowly scaling up to new geographies, adding new product lines, new services becomes much easier. Couple of examples I would like to quote here is Under Armour, for example. They started with I think they were very good at Viking sports, where the Viking fabric, which is in which they got a good expertise and they were known for it. And later on, I think they started doing almost every parts of the sports brand, and then they became the number two brand in US after Nike. Same with, I would say, the North Face. They created an edge of mountain trekking and kind of hiking experiences and the gears and the equipments, and they created a niche in that segment. They established their name, they created a differentiation, even if there were a lot of other big players at that time, but since they have been very focused on what they want to be known for, it became much easier for them to penetrate. And then later on you can see that the North Face is almost selling everything, right from all the clothing, accessories, and almost everything. And the DNA remains the same. When you think of the North Face, you think of a brand which is providing a good amount of clothing and gears for hiking and mountaineering activities. The list goes on. There are tons of brands, and there are tons of businesses across the globe where they try to create an exclusive community experience, and that community helped that brand grow big in the market because you have a considerable set of loyal customers, or loyal, or you can say you have a set of people who love your brand, and then it becomes much easier for you to push any message or anything in the market, and they just absorb it nicely, and then the ripple effect helps them to create that word of mouth in the market, which is quite genuine, and hence it goes on. So I think I was able to convey some aspect of niche marketing and what is niche marketing with a couple of examples. I I think I will now move on to the why part of it, and and how beautifully it fits with the challenges of a small online businesses. So the kind of challenges which any small online business is facing, whether they are in Austin or New York or Indian Bangalore or Israel or or London or Berlin, any part of the world, the challenges remains kind of largely same in all the geographies. And in order to address those challenges, I think niche marketing is a very good fitment for that. And once you see those challenges and the fitment, I think then you can fairly understand the benefits out of it. And then I think we'll be able to conclude our point on why niche marketing is that important in today's time. So challenges, if we talk about, right, the number one point is now all the small online stores, when they start or they are in the business for 1 year, 2 year, they mostly operate with less budgets, less resources, with a very limited market reach. They can't follow the full spectrum of marketing activities. What I mean here is, um, when you are a small online store, you can't do market research, you can't hire consultants and agencies, the companies who can do the market research for you, saying what people are thinking, whether this product will work or not in the market, how they are going to receive it. And you don't have a large team to do a good amount of customer service. You don't have a good amount of feedback mechanism to incorporate in the further uh, product or service development. So it doesn't work as an input if you don't have a good amount of team to cater to. And and all the other aspects of marketing, right? So the market research, feedback, the advertising part of it, the communication, and all sorts of marketing activities, right? So it's quite huge. And I don't think a small online store, when they're starting up, they are able to start everything from day one and jump on all the areas of influencer and content and social and search and email and marketing automation and market research and almost everything. It becomes impossible and they end up burning a lot of money. So yeah, the full spectrum is not being followed. That's one of the challenges. They can't do it. And they need to get cash positive at earliest as possible. They have a VC sitting on their head, or they have some point to prove that the market is liking their offering, and there is a great future for their business. Another set of challenges, they can't afford a big learning curve, right? So they have a limited cash in hand. They know their runway for next 6 months, 12 months maybe. They have the cash flow which they can support for the business, and they can't do a lot of experiment and learn on their own, burn their fingers and then learn. I mean, they will almost lose the game, and it will lead them to are not a good situation. So learning curve, they can't afford much, a big learning curve. Next point is they wants to establish their name, and establishing a name in a larger market with lot of people is a common sense, pretty much difficult task, right? Compared to if you're establishing your name in a small community, whether it's a college community. For example, Facebook, they established their name in a college community first, and then it started spreading from college to universities, and then came into the general public eyes, and then how the Facebook story began. So in a smaller audience, you are able to establish your name, and not in a bigger market unless you have a heavy marketing budgets. Repeat purchase is the litmus test for their market acceptance. So if they are not getting repeat purchase, even if they have a lot of money going in, they are doing really well. Online sales is skyrocketing, but that does not mean that the business is doing good. That does not mean that people have accepted or liked their product. That does not mean they should expand. That does not mean they can sustain their business, because it needs a constant injection of capital in the business every time you are acquiring a new customer, every time you're pushing money. So cost per acquisition of a customer is kind of decided by the money you're pushing in, and that's not going to drop. So the only way for online small stores will be to grow organically with some help of marketing money, and then grow organically through word of mouth. And that will only happen when you are able to maintain quality, you are able to get repeat purchase. So the next, I think we've gone through some of the challenges. I mean, challenges are pretty much a long list for any business, and keeps on going. But I try to touch upon the challenges which normally a lot of businesses face. Now, if you look at the benefits of niche marketing, and hence it connects with the topic of today's, that why it is important for small businesses, and it fits well with the smaller marketing budgets, because niche marketing, it's anyways approach which is more of a sharpshoot focused smaller set of audience, learn and see whether it is working or not, and then you can expand to the same set of niche audience in more and more areas, in more and more communities, more and more cities and states, right? Now, so that works well. Enhance customer relationship. Most of the brands in today's time, they spend heavy amount of money in advertising to be on top of the mind. The recall factor of a brand should be high, and that kind of pushes every business or brand in the globe today to keep on injecting money every quarter, every year, to come up with 4 5 big campaigns so that you remember them in your head, and that's how you feel connected to a brand. There will be some exceptions where the brands are able to connect with you, and but in niche marketing, I think since you in the early days you started with a very specific community, the like-minded community, they are into a particular hobby, or they are into a particular activity or a particular taste, or they are of a certain age group, or they are from a certain behavioral pattern on internet, they consume content in a certain way. So when all of them are behaving in a certain way, it becomes much easier for you to connect with them, talk relevant to them through your marketing communications, and also start building your customer relationship. And the best part I like is reducing competition. So how we can fight with the big e-commerce companies, how we can launch, how we can think of even setting up an online store in today's time, where the COVID situation is there, no one is going out, and large number of brick and mortar businesses are going digital, and everyone is asking me or my friends the same question, that hey, we already have Amazon, we have so many big players, and every category have a category leader, for a parental products or a senior citizen products, everybody is having a category leader. They are operating for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, have large budgets. How we are going to compete with them? I mean, it's impossible. But at the same time, I want to go digital, and COVID has taught everyone to go digital, and that's the only way businesses are looking at for survival or growth. And I think the answer to those questions will be today's session, that go out for niche marketing. You don't need a lot of marketing budget, you don't need to do much. You are able to reduce competition in a very specific audience set. uh, Again, in a scale down approach, the usage of resources becomes pretty much efficient, where the budgets are well utilized, where the resources are well utilized, uh, because you're not dealing with 10 personalities. When I say personalities, I'm referring to the personalities of your customers. So for any business, there could be different kind of people and their personalities, but in niche marketing, you are pretty much dealing with one or two personalities, and that personality belongs to 1,000 people, 1 million people, or 10 million people, and then it becomes much easier to understand those, and then you can have the processes and your operations team in a such a way that they are able to address them, talk to them, and at a much lesser resources at your own company. Also, the ecosystem of any business lies in a great amount of partnership and association with vendors and partners, goes very easy when you are going for a niche marketing. You are able to identify what kind of clients I want to work with, where should I go and pitch for, if it's a service based or a product, who will be my customer. All the answers become pretty much evident, that someone who loves mountaineering and biking, that's my customer. I am into clothing, but as of now, I am niching down to someone who is into motorbiking, someone who is into mm, uh, outdoor activities and mountaineering, for example. So you are uh, you are kind of talking to two personalities in your customers, and not male, female, urban, rural, outgoing, corporate, and tons of audience segmentation comes in front of you when you do these marketing activities. And the last point, it's very easy to specialize, honing your skills, and becoming an expert when you are using niche marketing. Uh, A few more interesting points and the benefits which online stores can get from this niche marketing is of the word of mouth, the genuine and the most powerful medium of advertising or communication of a brand happens when you hear something from your friends and families, and the people who have already used that product. Uh, so that comes naturally with niche marketing, because all of them are same kind of a people. They talk to each other, they have different forums to interact with each other, and I think word of mouth is the reason why it happens more in niche marketing compared to any other kind of marketing. You may create a great quality product, but uh, but your customers are not superconductors. So when I say superconductor, what I mean is your customers are not connected in a very closed way, where one thing passes on to almost everyone, right? So that's the word of mouth, the first part. um, for niche marketing, organic growth is given for sure. When when you are maintaining the high quality, you are talking to customers, uh, and when the community is there to support you, your business will grow organically. And when the business grows organically, it implies that you are getting repeat business. A few more interesting benefits. It's easy to manage. It's not much to manage. Very simple tactics and tricks to do. The programs in and the campaigns. The number of campaigns, the number of programs goes down. You are talking to one personality. You are talking to one persona. Not much. And the new versus repeat is a debate which keeps on going. The new customer versus repeat customers. In this case, you're getting a lot of repeat customers. Again, reduces the dependency on capital and running around investors and VCs, where most of the time is sucked into finding out the money rather than catering to your customers and taking care of your business and doing what you're good at. So that helps us to get into a repeat business model using niche marketing. And the last one, it's sustainable. So why sustainable? Because it's organic. The business is growing organically, so there is not much of an inorganic growth. You are getting few inorganic growth through some sort of media communication and budget which you're deploying. But if you're getting 100 customers through paid ads, then another 300 or 400 is coming through word of mouth and the community building and all those stuff, right? So then the dependency of inorganic growth goes down, and you're growing organically. Gives you sustainable business model, gives you a sustainable business at the very beginning. It helps uh, a business owner to create a great marketing foundation for a business, where initially you then fly high using money and then you fall down. We have plenty of examples. You look around and you will find hundreds and hundreds of companies falling down because of the same thing which they do. They try to grow They try to run ads, get customers, get VCs, and grow, skyrocket, and suddenly they fall down because the foundation, the marketing foundation, which nobody talks about, no one thinks of, is the major reason, and that's why I'm emphasizing more on this for the sustainable business. I think so. I'm getting notifications on the Q&A, but I'm not able to open it. Okay, cool. I will continue. Oh, yeah. The most difficult part of any today's business is they have got VC funding, they have got initial boom of customers, and they don't have time to work on quality management, and even if they have less time. But in this niche marketing, you have plenty of time to maintain the quality as well as grow, right? And it's pretty much easy to scale. You prototype, you test your marketing channels, you have a community to support, to they are going to buy your product, they are going to talk about your product, so you have a community which you can count on, and then it becomes much easier to scale. You just need to add one product or add service every 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, and then your customers, your loyal customers, are there to support you, and they will buy your product since they like you. They have shown a repeat business to you. The third point, which is very interesting, I mean, larger brands today, they are struggling in investing in a lot of money in building analytics tool, building so much of complex world of data, audience segmentation, slicing, and hearing mechanism of what customers talking about me and how to improve, and all that becomes a chaos. But using a niche marketing, since you are dealing with one kind of persona, one kind of personality, or maximum two and not 100, the feedback loop becomes much easier, and the quality inputs which goes to the product team, the product development or the service development team is high, and they're able to improve their product to service every day. Um, for business owners, this is a great line, right? It helps fast track the business journey. So, right from the concept to prototype to testing to market acceptance, I have been talking about market acceptance since the beginning of our talk today, and why it is so much important. Market acceptance. There could be two kind of market acceptance. One which is inorganic, which is manipulated, and the second could be organic, which is genuine. And that's why I'm harping on the fact of repeat business more and more. So through this, you can go to the market acceptance mode as soon as possible, uh, at a very early stage, and that's what my second point comes to, that the success rate is quite high because we have shortened the path of, sorry for the typo, we have shortened the path and the market validity of your business. We are doing at a very early stage, and therefore the chances of succeeding and growing for these businesses are very, very high. You guys might be having some questions, but I have plenty of time. You please note down your questions. I love questions, so I will answer all of them. Right. I mean, this I have been talking throughout. Building strong community. People are trying to build community on social media. They are trying to do loyalty programs where they give coupons and discounts, and then they create a referral program, and you become a membership program, and they kind of do all that stuff, which I don't think is that helpful for building and growing a business organically, and it all heavily dependent on media money, and that's where we have a differentiation. Our community through niche marketing is amazing, and it drives all your expansion where you're trying to target new markets or expand your service or product line. And the beautiful thing about this niche marketing, which I love, is it's a trust based scale up. It's not VC funded based scale up, right? So it's not that one fine day you're not getting the funding and not able to grow, or you got a $10 million funding or $100 million funding and you started growing. It's not that, right? It's a trust based scale up business model, and customers, investors, everyone love to work with, partner with, buy from, or invest in a company which has created trust in the customer mind and in their heart. So I think I have kind of set the context. I have spoken about a niche marketing, what it is, and how it helps, the challenges, the benefits, which will give us a good direction for another 30 minutes to have questions, and I would love to answer all of them. All right.
Well,
I was
uh, have you done with your presentation or is it still on?
no, I'm done. I can see a lot of questions, so I may pick up one after one. But yeah, you please go on.
I was just saying that it was really wonderful session. So would you mind if I read out the questions for you, or you want to take it by yourself?
I can take it up. Open once. If I miss out anything, please let me know. I will go through it.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ron has a question. What if large organizations develop a defensive mechanism such as segmentation against niche competition? How would niche marketers compete then? All right. So, Ron, if I'm understanding your question correct, you are thinking of a situation where Amazon creates, for example, Amazon creates a defensive mechanism where they are able to segment a small group of people, and then they are talking to each of them in their own language and in their own tonality. I think this is niche marketing. I mean, uh, if you think about a lot of big brands, they do it. Budweiser, they did recently, uh, where they try to reach out to the marginalized people, and they try to uh, trigger a point of a conversation of me versus they, and the social identity of a certain group of people they wanted to touch upon and create a buzz in the market. So I think that's what niche marketing is, right? It's not that only small businesses can do it. Large businesses can also do it. They may have 10, 20, 30 personalities to cater to, but they can talk and treat each personalities in a different way. But if you think from that angle, if they are catering to and every business is trying to do that, right? Marketing, when it all starts from audience segmentation and defining the communication for each kind of an audience and each kind of a persona. But at a larger scale, uh, somehow it's not that much feasible to do that, because you have one campaign coming in Super Bowl commercials, and then you can't talk to everyone in a different way. And every business or a brand is known for something, right? That one thing they stand for. I mean, it's very much difficult for me to maintain 10 things which I'm known for, right? So BMW can be, or Mercedes can be known for. When I say Mercedes, you think about luxury. BMW, you think about performance. Volvo, you think about safety, right? But but standing on everything is difficult. But as I said, yes, large organization can do niche marketing. They can, if they are doing their job really well, they can still trouble the small online stores when they are doing niche marketing. And how we can compete with them? Yes, we will always have an upper hand. Number one, we are not having 40 personas to manage at our plate, right? We are only having one, two, or three uh, to start with, since we are a small online stores. And how to deal with it? I think the answer will be that we go more uh, customer relation enhancement programs in our marketing curriculum, you can call it. I think that can help us to compete with the larger ones. But yeah, in summary, they can do it. Even SMBs can do it, and it's a good thing. Everyone should do it, I think. I hope I tried answering your question. Nigel has a question. Why would you encourage a startup to follow a niche marketing strategy? In what situations do you think they can benefit the most from niche marketing? I think you asked this question quite early. My session would have answered that. The benefit slides, you might have seen it. Why? Because the business environment of small online stores is demanding for niche marketing. I think niche marketing is not an option. It is more of a compulsion for people to choose it, because the fitment of challenges to this niche marketing is quite evident in today's talk. If Nigel has a second question for me. If you were the CMO of a consumer tech firm, how would you approach the concept of niche marketing and integrate it into the wider marketing strategy? I think I need more details around it. It's still at a very 50,000 feet. I need to go more deep and understand that which consumer tech in what category you are dealing in. And again, the concept remains. I think you are trying to understand the what would be your approach and the concept of niche marketing and integrate it into the wider marketing strategy. I think if it's a, I don't know, if I assume if it's a mid-size or a big consumer tech firm and you are trying to integrate niche marketing, you can fairly integrate your niche marketing in your existing plan. What it needs is a little bit of step back, scaling down, uh, reworking on the personas, reworking on the personalities, redefining the marketing communication and what you stand for and who is your community, penetrating community after community after community, right? So it's a lengthier process for sure, but you can do that penetration work not simultaneously. You have to do one after another. But yes, you can do integrate in the marketing strategy at a wider perspective, but it will take time. The more matured the existing system is, it will take more time to integrate it. Jazz has a question. How can we deal with the problems like low cost, new entrants, price pressure, and the temptation to go public? What is the percentage of sustainability in the niche markets with new entrants when you hardly expect much growth initially? Uh, Let me open my windows. I think it's getting hot. 1 second. All right. So the low cost new entrants and the price pressure and the temptation to go public. I think if you have a niche marketing approach adopted and you have spent couple of years or 5 years in doing it, you cannot avoid building great relationship and trust with the customer base. And once you have a good trust and a good perception in the market, you cannot avoid growth in customers. New customers will come, but at the same time you have a loyal customer base as well, which always reduces the cost. Mm, and therefore, in order to counter the new entrants with a lesser cost, number one, you may not need to lower down your cost, because the benefit of niche marketing is itself building a community and the relationship. So chances are you may avoid reducing the cost but still operate and grow. Even if you have to, you can afford to do that, because in niche marketing you're trying to grow more organically with a little support of money. uh, Price pressure is an evident thing, it's always there. You need to talk to your customers whether you can increase, you can decrease, you can do focus groups with your customers you have already built. You can talk to different focus groups and communities you have already built and see what's the response is and take an informed decision, I think. uh, the other part of your question is, what is the percentage of sustainability in the niche markets with new entrants when you hardly expect much growth initially? When people talk about niche marketing or niche market, sorry, we tend to think that when I say niche, people think small. Actually, it is not the case. Uh, a niche market in UK could be small, but the same taste, the same demand of that product or service globally is huge, right? So I'm trying to answer your question that when you say hardly expect much growth initially, I agree that initially there won't be much growth. But as far as percentage of sustainability is concerned in the niche market, it is sustainable, because number one, sustainability of a business is all related to organic growth, and a community driven business is always driven by organic growth. And I think that drives the sustainability, where the quality is always tested. mm, uh, and the growth part of it, of course, depends on how much time you have spent in the niche marketing. So if you have spent good amount of time doing it, uh, I think the returns will come as you mature in this process of niche marketing. Do you think over the years of marketing evolution, personalized marketing and niche marketing are now synonym terms? Marketing to a set of users based on common personalized parameters. Sorry. Uh, the question here is, when we do personalized communication, and so first of all, personalized marketing is nothing. There is nothing called personalized marketing. Marketing is a whole spectrum of uh, understanding the market, doing the market research, talking to the prospects who will become your customers tomorrow, and talking to the existing base, and then uh, coming up with a marketing strategy and how I'm going to deal with it. Personalization comes more often at a communication level, where you are in any marketing communication, you are personalizing that communication, that for 1 million people you create one ad, but it becomes 1 million because you have added personalization to it, right? So for example, in one of my Silicon Valley client, what we have been doing, we are sending just one communication, a marketing communication to 10 million people, but it becomes 10 million because the names are getting seeded into the communication. Even their last month's expenditure, their personal data is getting fetched into that communication, right? So personalized communication is the right term. Personalized marketing, I don't think it exists. Which do you think will create a bigger impact in digital marketing industry 5 years from now, niche marketing or affiliate marketing? Again, affiliate marketing, personally, I don't think there is anything called affiliate marketing. There are tons of conferences happening for last 20 years called affiliate marketing, but I think it is affiliate advertising, right? Marketing is much at a higher level. Affiliate is just a channel for reaching out to certain set of people on an agreed way of promoting or taking your advertisement to the next level, right? So affiliate is a kind of advertising which helps you get numbers, but again, niche marketing is a very broad term compared to affiliate, and it won't be right to compare them. In affiliate, you're not thinking about who is your customer, right? You don't answer that question while building the strategy, building the product. You don't do product development using affiliate marketing, right? But using niche marketing, you can develop your product, right? So product development, that feedback loop, I mean, whole gamut of marketing comes in when it's niche marketing. So marketing remains the same. Niche, what it does, it scales down to one persona, two persona. That's it, right? Affiliate is a mode of communication. It's a channel. It's not right to say affiliate marketing. Another one from Donald. Hi Anjan, thanks for the informative session. We find that there are a large variety of organizations and startups that go with their marketing strategies and plans, lots of spending with little to no certainty in returns. So, with niche marketing, considering you spend wisely, is it wise to expect? Okay, interesting question from Donald. Donald, your question is that many companies are there, they have good marketing strategy and plan, and they start spending with no certainty in return. Uh, so, with niche marketing, considering you spend wisely, is it wise to expect? Answer is 100% yes. Answer is 100% yes. Niche marketing is slow. Niche marketing takes time. Niche marketing makes a business owner more intelligent. Niche marketing takes a business owner in a close relationship with the audience, and any other large variety of organizations and startups who goes for a marketing strategy and plan. So people who are not succeeding, I mean, it's a case to case thing, but um, there are two three aspects to it when you're talking about return. I mean, that I think I should address. So marketing strategy or marketing is different from sales. That's number one. If you are planning to create a demand, or you are planning to influence a demand towards your brand, or you're planning to meet the demand, you come up with certain kind of strategy and then certain kind of marketing plans. uh, it may not be that accurate, and there is it is never a case that there is 0% expectation that how much return I'm going to get. No, it's not the case in today's time. In fact, you can fairly estimate what kind of return I may get out of this campaign. If you're doing it for the first time, of course, you can't estimate better. The more and more you do it, your maturity of your marketing program will decide how accurately you are able to estimate the returns, right? So, how matured your marketing programs are, for how long you're practicing it, and how much of intelligence you have about your customers and their preferences and their buying behavior and their patterns, and that decides and refines your marketing programs. It's an always on, always improving um, program, and It's not a one shot thing. So the answer is, the more and more you do it, the more closure you get in terms of estimating things, right? So I hope it answers. Explain us with an example. Hire has its own market for small refrigerators, washing machines, and other appliances, and became one of the best selling appliances brands in 2009. But Godrej, Whirlpool, and LG are declining in their sales today, even in India and abroad, either because of the market type they have chosen, or any other factor. Uh, Honestly, I haven't gone through the financial numbers and the case study of these brands. Uh, but since I have used products from these brands, I can tell you with a little intelligence of my marketing, and as a consumer, I can tell you one thing is because of uh, the uh, product refreshment which I have seen in the brand Hire. uh, I think the product refreshment is good, uh, and uh, and that kind of again loops back to the supply chain. It again loops back to the feedback mechanism. They must be listening to the ground reality and communicating back to the R&D and the product development, and they might be doing something at a product level which is resonating with the demand of the customers, and they might be growing for that reason. But honestly, I don't know the inside story of what happened in these companies, so I don't think I will be able to comment. But I'm just um, telling you the possible factors that could have done this, right? uh, yeah, so I will move to the next one. A higher ROI alongside brand pull and loyalty. Is there assurance, or is there assurance our business will grow exponentially in this case? Donald, your question is not clear to me. A higher ROI alongside brand pull and loyalty. Okay, is there assurance our business will grow exponentially in this case? Of course, I mean that's a dream scenario you have written, right? Every brand uh, wants a brand pull. Uh, you don't advertise. You take any FMCG brand, you take any electronics brand. Now, the competition is so high, the noise is so much. I mean, just think about yourself. If you don't see a campaign of of a certain brand in a particular category, slowly the awareness and the consideration of that brand will start fading away from your mind. Unless you're using the product, you have already used it and you liked it so much that you don't want to change. Maybe you inherited that brand from your parents and you have a deep seated information that it's the best thing to buy. So in those scenarios, um, otherwise a human being is always in a lookout for a better alternative and a better option, right? So it does give you an assurance that the business will grow exponentially for sure. If you have a brand pull and loyalty, ROI is okay. Sometime it goes high, it goes low, but brand pull and loyalty, if these two things someone is able to create, I don't see a reason why the business is not gonna grow exponentially. So yeah, I tried answering all the questions so far in the Q&A bucket, and thank you all of you for asking such wonderful questions to me. Yes, Namita, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anjan, for sharing your expertise on the said topic and answering all of the questions. It looks like almost we have covered all the questions. And still, if the audience has some dilemma, then they can definitely reach out to you on LinkedIn. Well, that's really great. We appreciate you being here. And thanks again for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Have a good day.